All right, Nick, thanks for coming on, sharing your journey with us. So Nick's going to give us a little bit of insight to the transformation that he's made over the past 11 and a half, 12 months or so that he's been working with us. And he's done a really fantastic job. So Nick, before you got started with me, before you even came across my stuff, what were some of the reasons that how did you feel about your health and your body, and what were the reasons that you wanted to change in the first place?
So yeah, I guess I just, I wasn't really happy. I was unfit, carrying excess body fat. I just wasn't really happy with kind of, the way I looked, and just, concerned about my health ultimately as well, and, just really felt, it was at times, I needed to make a change, pretty quickly, and, needed to find something that was going to work and help me make that change.
Yeah. So when you reached out to me and we got talking about it, what were the apprehensions, if any, that you had about starting the coaching program? Was there anything that was kind of initially making you second think it or putting you off at all?
I guess it was it's a pretty big commitment to get into. And I guess, the whole world of exercise, it's pretty daunting. You just, the fitness world, I'm not really had much to do with it before, and didn't really know what to expect. Was it just going to be, constantly having to work out all the time? Was it going to be too time consuming? Was there going to be some diet that I, didn't like or couldn't stick with? So, I guess it was all those kind of things really that, just wasn't really sure. And, obviously concerned about taking on a program like that.
Yeah, those are good points. So just on those notes, mate, how did you actually find it when we got started coaching and working together, like in comparison to some of those concerns that you had previous to it?
I think it's really good. I mean, I think the thing is just, do what you can do. Sort of, one of the first things you do is just, make time, so it's just take a step back and just sort of work out, where can you, fit a workout into your schedule, and, how can you spend a little bit of time getting some food prepared and getting the meals prepared. And then it really, I guess it just, you sort of look at, where can I, fit in a workout. And for me, it was in the morning, that kind of worked. I changed my routine a little bit and did a couple of things the night before instead. I get the kids ready in the morning. So, I got some stuff ready at night to make sure I had time in the morning to do a workout. And, the food wise, really, I mean, it's like, it was pretty good, really. I mean, the nutrition and the meals, it's all really good stuff, and it's all really tasty food. And yeah, it turned out to be, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to stick with, to be honest with
you. Yeah, I think that's a big one, and a lot of concerns that most people have before coming on with coaching. Am I going to stick to the diet? I think a lot of guys love exercise and they love to train, so it's often that's not an issue, besides just trying to make time for it, because most of the guys that I work with in the program are dads and they don't have much time for themselves. So with that aside, the biggest thing is usually can I stick to this diet plan? And essentially there's not a diet plan or strict food rules to, and I find the way most people go about doing things when they do it on their own is usually quite deprivational and cutting things out, whereas we have a completely different approach to just helping you build better habits and nutritional choices into your life. Is that how you found it?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And I think you can just as you go through it, you just add on additional things. You're making sure you get the right quantities of the kind of the right foods, and and it's honestly it's got to a point now where that's the kind of food I like eating, and I like eating at Whole Foods, and and the kind of the junk food. We were away on holiday a few weeks back, and we were kind of busy, and we just had a pizza one night, and it tasted okay, but I didn't really enjoy it that much because I knew it just wasn't really the right thing for me, and it wasn't what I'd like to eat anymore. And I guess it's just kind of changed my tastes and what I want to eat. And like I said, I've just, got into the habit now of just eating, sort of nutritional whole foods and, in the right quantities.
Good man. That takes me on to my next question. And I know that the results that you've got, like I look at your progress photos and I'm never not impressed. Like it's massive ridiculous difference. But in your words, what are the specific results that you've seen, and what would you say the big impacts on your life that these things have had for you?
I think it's been loads of change, to be honest with you. I think I've just, like I said, I felt, unfit, and, I was carrying some body fat, wasn't really very toned, and, that's all changed. I've lost, loads of body fat. My body feels so much better and more toned. I fit into clothes now so much better. I had a jumper in my cupboard that I've probably owned it for about 5 years. I really like it, and I've worn it twice because it just didn't fit me really very well, and I didn't look good in it. And I've, I'm into that now. I'm wearing it. It's great. But I think one of the big things as well, just my level of fitness as well, and just really like mountain biking. I got into that a few years ago, and I always used to really struggle, when we went out, and particularly riding with friends who were kind of fitter, and and it kind of put me off because I was always struggling at the back, and it's not that much fun when that happens. So and over the last year it's just totally changed. I feel so much fitter, and I'm keeping up with people. I mean, leading the pack sometimes, and
setting the pace, man.
That's it, and I can ride with friends now, confidently, and and have much more fun, and I just feel fitter and more capable of having that lifestyle, for sure. So no, it's been a real change.
And it feels great having that measure there, because that is a very measurable improvement, isn't it? Like when you've been cycling with friends and you're struggling to keep up with them, and now all the little habits that you've been adding into your life with your nutrition and making yourself stronger through the program, that's had a massive impact to you're now setting the pace a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Good that knowing that the what you're doing is it's making such a difference. Good work, man. I'm really proud of you. It's been a pleasure. I've got one more question. For what advice would you give to anyone who is currently in the same situation that you were in, not seeing the results that they really want for their health, their fitness, their body, they're feeling a bit stuck, and they're watching this and they're on the fence and thinking about giving it a go, but they're not completely sure?
I mean, I would say just, go for it. I think you'd be surprised how, not, easy it is, because, you've got to put some effort in and a bit of commitment into it. But, I think that if you want to make those changes, for sure, I think everything's there. And, I've done stuff in the past and exercise programs and just never seen any results. And, I think, results I've got over the last year, I'm just kind of blown away by. So I would say to people, just give it a try, and you haven't got anything to lose. I think, certainly the results I've had from it, I think, I'm really pleased. I'm really glad I've done it. I'm glad I stumbled across your Facebook page or your emails or whatever, and it's been definitely, it's worked out really well for me, for sure.
Great stuff. On that note, I'm actually going to cheat here and fling in one last question, just because you mentioned that you did programs in the past and they didn't work to get results. What do you feel the difference has been from doing stuff previously to working with myself?
So I think it's the combination of stuff, for sure, that you've got there. You've got the kind of there's a bit of cardio, there's weight training, and the nutrition, I think, and putting all of that together. But adding in that bit of coaching element as well. That kind of support and the guidance, and having someone there to kind of because I didn't know what I was doing at all, right? And having someone who can point you in the right direction, give you some advice, that's been really helpful. And the programs before have been, I did one of those like DVD things, and I mean, it was real hard. It was like 25 minutes and I was, soaked through a sweat, by the time I'd finished, but I just didn't lose any weight off it. Didn't really get any muscle, and but I think it was missing a load of the other elements that, that working with you has got. And, I think you put all those together, and that's made the overall progress, for sure.
Yeah. I think you're spot on with those things, and that's why we've kind of developed the coaching system the way I have. I found that transformation most of the time does not happen in isolation. Regardless of the information that we've got, having the right steps in there, and also the right support and guidance to get you from point A to point B usually makes all the difference. Nick, thanks very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks so much. It's been great working with you, and so far, and I'm looking forward to keeping it going as well. It's been really appreciate your help and
We're on to the next phase.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Nick, thanks very much, man.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, cheers.